Vitality, T-side beginning on their map pick. Let's see what they've been working on in the last 24 hours since they managed to take down Complexity. Hobbit, aggressive B. Oh, that's a tap. That's a way to begin. ZywOo's going to quick trade, though, with a double bullet kill, finding the immediate dink. Now, this is a bit of a bait, because you have Hobbit facing down B, and you're, hoping the Vitality get that pick and commit into the two-man setup, right? Reading into what could have been a 4-1. It's not the case. And so Vitality won't fall for it anyway. They go right back to this A site.
Yeah, they're looking to pick up the pace here. The pressure's really going to be on for Axal and Inters. They've got a double pit set up. And with Inters opening up, he wanted to just tuck in there and try to get back into cover, but he doesn't want to leave Axal all on his own. Both players in A now dealt with, and Vitality handed a little 3-on-2 post plant. Shiro and nafany up in this one still, and looking to make their way in. It's going to be a pretty lengthy little apartments flank coming through for Shiro.
I guess nafany's going to flash him in from this position. That's why he's also waiting. You've just cut off half your clock by walking through apps. This flash needs to be a godsend right now, or Shiro needs to hit some shots.
Yeah, already you're pretty much out of time here.
Yeah.
And so they still try to swing it, but they get locked down. Vitality, they're going to win that pistol. And now look to get off to a good start here. I'm also really excited to see how Shiro's looking, right? We've seen some flat Infernos out of him from this Gambit squad, but then, it oftentimes goes on to recover throughout the series. I'm really curious if we're going to have him hitting the ground running here today, or if it is going to be another one of these slow starters.
Well, a benefit to that is starting on the CT side, right? Being able to, run that AWP nice and early in the game. If Gambit are going for that for that pick on Inferno, they're not going to get that luxury until the second half. ZywOo, a player who's absolutely fine with giving up the AWP at times, not just letting shox primary when he's rifling well, but also just leaning away on the T side of this map until you feel like you need it. Don't hurry, it's quite the investment, and this Deagle provides quite the kill. Masuta up on the short side. shox is going to take that space. We've still got these crossfires, though. Dicing up. Team kill for shox. Not what you want. Vitality are trapped out. Flash going over the top. Everyone's keeping the pressure on Vitality. They just can't get comfortable. They try and commit, and they succeed. Only one man left up in the pit side. It's Axal needing to find a kill, and Apex will jump him down with a Mac-10. That looked lost for Vitality, but they clear out every player in the A site and leave it to another one of these possible retakes.
Oh,
close.
Mate, it's so frustrating. You know you've got ZywOo trapped. You know he's low from all these D tags, but you just can't find that shot to finish him. Gambit slowly through the apartments again, but nafany might just die on the swing here. shox going to be the man to make contact, and it's almost deceptive in nature, right? You saw ZywOo here. You tagged him up. Apex is even pushing. Jeez. Will get shut out there, and now his teammates might end up dying to this bomb. A lot of damage done.
Oh, run. Run!
No! Oh, it's close, but they both managed to get out 2 alive. And a second round on the board for Vitality.
Yeah,
I do love how they deal with the pit player there in Inters, right? It's like they're letting him keep jiggling, and then Apex just kind of has that realization, especially once they deal with the site crossfire. He's like, well, look, I'm not going to let him keep jiggling this, peeking on his own dime. No, I'm going to chase this guy down. Inters was not ready for it. Helped out massively. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Helped out massively by ZywOo dealing with the site crossfire as well.
Yeah, it would have been very easy to panic, right, when that team kill comes in when 3 of your players are 50 health and you're all just sat by the cart, and Gambit aren't really committing to fights. So Vitality don't panic, and yeah, cool to start this series. Exactly what they need to be, taking on number 2 in the world. Gambit proven at times to be even more than that. Axal peeks mid, dies. Vitality, a nice patient round for a change, right? They have been setting their sights pretty fast in these first couple of rounds, but now they know there's almost nothing to gain from it. Let Gambit make the mistake. Let Gambit rotate round, and so they'll go and do so. Stacking B, leaving Hobbit and his D-Garmer up in the apartments. Probably will double save if he's given the chance, but Kyojin doesn't want to let that happen, holding on for an aggressive flank as the rest of Vitality storm into these USPs. Should be with ease. Zywoo and Masuta finding openers and inters. And once that smoke fades, he is the dead man. No one goes down with him. Zywoo's having a ball right now, 8-0.
Yeah, this is a very fresh-faced looking Zywoo out of the gate. Even though it's been only up against these pistols, he's still been the guy creating a lot of these opportunities in the first place. So we are getting a good-looking Zywoo from the get-go. I think that's going to put even more pressure on Shiro here on Inferno, especially with that CT side start, as you kind of alluded to earlier, right? This is where he should have the easier time of things. Zywoo can't hunt down the last man. Hobbit, always elusive. You know, if I was going to look at Gambit and give you some players to keep an eye on, it's definitely Shiro for the AWP point that we've brought up. And on top of that, I would say Hobbit.
On this map as well.
Yeah, he is an incredibly consistent player for the most part, right? Like, very, very rarely do we get bad Hobbit games. He is a monster at this B-bomb site, so keep an eye on him over the wards there and what he's able to get away with. That would be my two picks that could be, you know, the linchpins of this whole thing for Gambit.
Yeah, and you touted this as like a test of Zywoo, right? Like, we haven't seen him go off in any of the explosive ways that maybe we'd expect. He's been, you know, top of the team. He's been the guy to look for Vitality. But I don't think Vitality have actually been tested yet, you know, other than the group where they lost to Heroic. It was a clean sweep. The bottom three teams of Group A in Bad News Bears, Spirit, and Astralis, none of them really looked too convincing in that group stage. And, you know, not only that, but Vitality have had weeks since the group as well. Yeah, sure, that playoff game versus Cole was a bit shaky after the first map, but they picked it up pretty nicely. And so this is perfect, the perfect time for Zywoo to show what he's got. Shiro with the AWP though. Gambit looking for their first round on the buy, and ooh, this shot comes through from the AWP. It's a double face. Shiro trades at least, getting out with 10 health, and Nade would end his round, but Vitality don't own one. They back out of Banana. They keep two here for Gambit, who desperately want that info. nafany fires off, but reflash back in, and Zywoo's waiting for it. Perfect. 4 health off the dink, and now Vitality look to recommit.
Yeah, that was all too easy for a guy like Zywoo to piece together, right? He throws his own flash. It's like an information play, right? He hears that player close, starts spraying, and immediately he goes, well, if there's an M4 pushed up that far, he's getting flashed in. He's re-aggressing. And so Zywoo is so ready for that. Wonderful little example of how you can use flashes to gather information, turn things to your advantage. And now the B-bomb site is secured. Gambit are left saving here in a 3-on-4.
Yeah, that's the risk of like a CT player. Actually, talk about Hobbit, you know, and he falls into this conversation, I'd say. Like, a CT player, if you get flashed, you've got to know when's the right time to spray. Like, oh, is it a bait flash, or is it a flash where I'm going to get contact around the corner? I'd say Hobbit, who often will play like aggressive sandbags on the CT side, sit on top of it, you know, play off the back of nafany or Shiro on the corner with the AWP. And, you know, he's really good at when he gets flashed off to just not take that shot until he knows they're coming, and then he can drop back behind, play the cover. Shiro gave up B on a gamble after Zywoo got that pick, hoping Vitality would go back into A. That was not the case, and so this save has been called. Apex, 1 kill would ruin everything here for Gambit.
Oh yeah, you've not even tried to attempt this round, and if you lose even one of these guns, you are in for a rough time. And it just so happens to be the most expensive weapon removed.
I like that for Apex. He waits till the bomb goes off. He knows that, you know, no matter where you are on a map in Counter-Strike, if that bomb goes off, the noise is so loud, you really don't hear footsteps like you do if it's silent. Shiro's knife out, mate. He thinks he has cover, but Gambit is saving their guns at the back of pit. That's a really awkward one. That's when you're pissed off if you're Shiro. He went to save his ult before the round was even decided, and he won't even keep it. Hand it to FAMAS, apologetic teammates. But otherwise, it's a broken buy for Gambit. They're saving for the next. Vitality have really set themselves up for a strong T side to begin their map pick.
No, that much is at least looking guaranteed. Plus, I don't know how you feel about this, but in that Vitality complexity game, I almost got senses that, like, Vitality maybe got ahead of themselves in where they were at in that series, right? It felt like the normal team play, the normal you know, kind of look that we get out of Vitality went away a bit, and it all just turned to raw confidence, which, while it was working, was really fun to watch. But when it stops working, it's hard to, you know, like mentally reset yourself and go back to playing anything other than like this very, you know, free-flowing, kind of fight-hungry squad that they were. You know, it was a lot of 1v1s, it was a lot of heads-up plays, just people trying to flash themselves in and make stuff happen.
You know, there's no surprise that they got away with that on Vertigo, and they had like 3 or 4 players like up there on the board. Kyojin had that nuclear game, like 20-5, but then he really slowed down in the series, and you didn't have that like you know, cushion to fall back on. Of, oh, we've got so many performers right now.
The reason I bring that up is I think versus Gambit, you're never gonna let your foot off the gas in the same way, right? Because you know this team is so good at even taking the smallest of margins that you give them and then using that to come back against you. There's this little short walk up here with Apex splitting it on a long timing, and with Shiro dead, the only other player left in this A bomb site is nafany. Now, he was discounted for a moment, but kind of drops the ball. The 5-7 not going to come through for him. And so Gambit are left saving again. We said Vitality are pretty much locked in. A good start to this one. That's their 5-0. Now up on the board with rifles looming for this Gambit squad.
And with how we're seeing Vitality play, it's no surprise that we have yet to see this T-side AWP for ZywOo, right? Like, he has no interest in bringing it out. Look at that round. Walks up, contact play. He's getting a lot of respect from Gambit. They're not trying to take fights. They're backed up, you know, on crossfires between apps and bomb site. And ZywOo just walks in, no flash, nothing, just headshots both guys. So yeah, he's having an impeccable beginning to this game, and Gambit needs to start shutting it down. Obviously that was a pretty weak buy as far as they come. Oh, nice kill, yeah, baited in, and Hobbit runs down Banana to get that AK, so it's a good save. Gambit playing the economy game, playing for the comeback. They're not sighing down the mic, calling GG at 5-0. They're just getting ready to get started.
But Hugo, can feel so tempting to sigh down the mic at 5-0 and then just throw it all away.
We lost first gun round. No one has ever won a game after losing first gun round.
Yeah, that is the mantra of a lot of puggers out there. Well, look, Shiro's bringing out that CT ult. He's going to have another run at it. Might look to get a little more involved, be a little more proactive. I think sometimes, you know, especially if he feels like he's struggling, Shiro can fade into the background. You know, that's something that we've seen from him on this map before. So I like that, you know, we're still getting this confident face out of him. He's double set up in the apartments with Axal in this round. With Inters losing short, alarm bell's going off a little, but you've still got this double app surprise ready to pull through. Shiro is about to get faced. Shoxy waiting on the other side of the apartments. But will he go any further forward, or is he just here holding for a push? Looks like the latter for now.
Yeah, Gambit have realized that, oh sorry, Vitality have realized Gambit might be drawing another player back to A, so they're trying to get that, you know, face off at B and make some noise, draw it back a normal setup, and then maybe recommit into this A site. We'll see if the bomb goes back. It's been left on bench right now, working out which of the two is to their betterment. shox, he enters the hallway as Shiro leaves. It couldn't have been better timing for him. And now smoke set up to attack this A site. Gambit have pulled back Hobbit into B just to drop his smoke. As that goes on, will shox's feign out of apartments keep Hobbit in CT playing this float position? Doesn't look like it. He's stuck up inside of the smoke. And Vitality, 20 seconds. Eventually they got to commit. Gambit have realized it's way too quiet.
Yeah, Hobbit trying to hold the line, sprays one down through the smoke. Now shoxy waiting for rotations, but they seem all too aware. They need to get into this site, and there's just so many bodies. It is a damn good try out of ZywOo. He does everything he could have to make that round happen. But it will be Gambit finding their first in round number 6, now at 1-5, saving the AWP as well.
That smoke for Hobbit wins them the round, man. It comes down to the perfect time. shox was just faking out apps over on the other side of the map, and Gambit realized after that smoke comes out at 25 seconds, a flash, a molly, all the utility out of apartments. No one pushed, so it's got to be a fake. There's no way they're just going quiet at the 20-second mark. They're waiting behind our smoke at B.
Yeah, right. It feels kind of awkward because it's one of those things where I wonder, like, shox is throwing out his utility as Hobbit's smoke pops, and I almost wonder if that smoke was down before that, would shox have even thrown anything? Because I think it makes it almost more obvious when all this utility comes into A. There's not a single footstep.
Smoke.
And there's no noise, and everyone at B is just here in silence, seeing nothing. It's like, well, this is a fake, isn't it?
Yeah, so the most obvious it can get.
Exactly, right? It's one of those things where if the timings were a little different. Ooh, Hobbit and nafany put a stop to these first two trying to entry into the top of B.
Yeah, that's reassuring as well, because if we see these first 5 rounds, it's been like these contact openers for Vitality. They've been given a lot of real estate. They've been walking up into the short side. They've been taking mid and apps for free. So, you know, they try it again. They go for that contact play once more, but both players from Gambit at this time facing, fighting, and smiting the Vitality players. Long smoke will cut off Shiro, but still got a teammate there. A shot through this would sell the fake so well. They're not going to check it. It's ready for a double, but he only gets 1.5. Kyojin lives to tell the tale. Still not like Vitality are in this round, not yet. He's going to try and walk the smoke. It might be his best bet.
Yeah, it might be his only option, but he's left it a while, and now Shiro is going to be considering this inside of the site, especially with Axel watching his short walk up. And so there's Kyojin dealt with. You know that shox was let loose on the short side. They've traded places.
Where's he gone?
shox behind you. Oh, it's all gotten weird. 15 seconds. shox looking for a way out. And Axel will provide one in a sense from down in the pit. It's into the next round with Gambit chaining together 2 now. And looking to go on a little streak of their own. Haven't quite broken through that economic barrier that Vitality built up from the 5-0 just yet, but they're right on the verge of doing it.
Yeah, just that one shot for Shiro through the smoke as well completely baited them away from Inters in the corner. That's just talking about these swaps of setups, right? We've yet to see that much from Gambit with players changing positions and keeping their opponents guessing, right? At this level of CS, with the familiarity that these teams face in their opponents, you'll know where, you know, what's happening by the kill feed. Like, oh, we kill X player in X position. That means X player is in X other position, or they've swapped sites. You know, Gambit like to keep it fresh. And so,
I mean, an example of that, right, is even in like that 4 spy round, they actually sent Hobbit over towards A while the rest of the team stacked B, right? It's like to give this illusion where if you kill Hobbit facing early in the apartments, well, he's normally over towards that B bomb site. That's when you can kind of overread into situations, right? Maybe you assume that means it's an A stack on the back of finding this B anchor there.
And this is a pretty normal map to do it anyway for an AWP, right? Because you want to always keep it mobile. You want to always keep your opponents guessing, similar to like CT side and Nuke, where you're going to be firing shots off from heaven and then you're dropping ramp and then you're going back outside, or you're playing lower or committing into A. So, you know, Shiro's going to be taking shots and then running and swapping positions with his teammates if Vitality runs slow rounds. And so far, they've not been doing that. They're executing at the minute mark, going right out of apartments. Inters' body is very deep. They're already on his head. Axel dead. Inters yet to be cleared. Do they know? Do they realize? It looks like it. Spamming his smoke as he just hides out inside of it. Vitality, it's a little bit too clear for their liking. They know there's more to be found.
Yeah, you hear a lot of footsteps on the other side of the moto smoke, but they still don't discount Inters here.
They're in limbo.
But they just can't find him, and he's doing a lot of work by just not dying. Finally cleared out. You were hoping that this would have given some room to these long players in amidst the confusion. But Moto just kept getting re-smoked, and some pushes were denied. Couldn't have really asked for anything else out of Inters there. He's not in a good spot at all. He's trapped down in the pit. He tries to hide out at first to get away with the illusion of, oh, no one's here. Don't look in the pit, guys. And then he gets mollied again, and suddenly, you know, that big illusion all breaks apart.
Yeah, it was nice because Axel actually smoked his molly.
Exactly,
and then he had another left up for when they re-mollied him. Vitality never wanted to actually take the fight. They knew utility could decide it for them. And yeah, like we saw the evidence there, even when you re-smoke it, all you're doing there is telling Vitality, I am staying inside this smoke. And so two players come in.
dying in a Molotov.
Sure. You're delaying the inevitable, essentially. Two players come, they swing him, they spray him. Vitality, they've really been doing their homework, it seems. 6-2. And this T side is the perfect pace to keep Gambit guessing.
Also, I've wanted a vintage ZywOo performance, and it feels like we're getting that now. More kills than the rest of Vitality combined. I haven't done the maths, but I'm just assuming.
Yeah, 5 more.
Nice. Hugo's done the maths.
Someone's got to. Right now, numbers look good for Vitality, though. Whoever and however you're getting there, you're not complaining. Back to a normal B setup. Gambit haven't really taken Banana all half. The one round they fought at Car was the pistol, where Hobbit went 1 for 1. We've again got this swing setup for nafany and Hobbit. Retake utility. Vitality just respected. They go, fine, we can wait 20 seconds. We've got nothing else to do, nowhere else to be. And so Gambit try and re-aggress, and also he falls off the top. The nades go right by him, though. Hiding in the smoke may have saved his life. Hobbit even rotates out. They don't seem convinced by this.
Yeah, with Vitality getting off to such a good lead, I do get a little concerned about what that's going to do to guys like Shiro. I think it's very important for him to have that degree of comfortability. I'm not a fan of his passive AWPing on Inferno. I think a lot of the time he can end up, you know, giving guys like James a run for his money.
Wow, yeah, he did overtake him in that.
He did, yeah.
Death stat, or I guess life stat. Flash on mid. Vitality are going B though, right? They're only trying to keep players here. They've done a good job at drawing Hobbit back. Their mid takes have been silent so far, usually just one long smoke. This time they're going to wrap it into spawn. Hobbit trying to get into position. The flash does nothing, and he sprays down one at least. Kyojin trades, and in they go to B. nafany's still here. He's going to hear this one.
Yeah, I mean, you've just killed Hobbit. You know where this guy is, and nafany has to do it all. And he does what he can. It's a nice double out of him. Shoxy left in the 1-on-3. Molly to force him out of position. And Shiro, no scope through the smoke. Here's him running away. And that's how he wins the round for Gambit. Great stuff out of nafany as well, right? Had to get a couple there. Couldn't afford to go down without a fight. Puts up that double kill at close range. And would have loved to have made it a third, but he's got full faith in his team to come in on that retake.
Yeah, full faith in the no scope through the smoke.
Exactly,
all part of the plan.
All calculated. Look at this. Look how calculated this is. Look, woo! I meant to do that.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Even
it grows down with that. I would hate to die to that. Oh, that's not nice. That's not pretty by any means. Got the fan cams back. It's been a while. It's great to see you all here, supporting whoever. Vitality. Okay, they're starting to meet their maker, perhaps. They're starting to meet the accountant. He's not got good news. Galil's out in this round. Masuta can't even afford that if he wants utility. Actually, he's just going to substitute it for the AK. Already had armor. So, it's the final buy for Vitality if Gambit keep up the pace on this CT side. And even despite getting dragged all around the map in that previous round and faked out over on A, they still managed to get it under control. Good hold for nafany, as you said. Need more of that towards B.
Yeah, this round could be the big momentum swing, right? For Gambit to start to leap back into this game in a very big way. So pressure's on for Vitality to try and make it work with less. Clearing out this top banana. We know that Hobbit likes to play on those sandbags, so you're going to be careful. Molotoving those out as you take this top B control. There's the re-smoke for Hobbit. Trying to keep this real estate owned. Now, you'll hear anyone getting tagged by that molly, and with that not happening, they're going to re-aggress into banana, taking top B off of Vitality again. ZywOo just having to trade places with Gambit here. The rest of Vitality set up for what looks like an apps pop, while ZywOo and co work this B control. nafany's in a spot where he can't leave. He's got to stick around, and ZywOo's ready for that. Those are the kind of fights he wants. Shiro's been pulled around and is set up in CT, but missed shot to ZywOo isn't going to get given a second chance yet. My God, he's going in. ZywOo's off the leash, but Hobbit's going to put him back on one.
Yeah.
And now the apps drops come in. Inters and Axel aren't going to give up this A site easily. They're calling for rotations. There's a banana push coming in that's just missed the timing onto Apex, so he's going to get into this A bomb site to help out, and he spams Axel to death. Inters can't hold on, and so now Shiro and Hobbit have got to decide, do they want to give this 2-on-3 a go? As we say, this is a bit of a breaking point for Vitality if you win this round. That might tempt you in.
You need a kill to come your way, though. No one's giving up anything for Vitality. No util other than flashes, and they're not keen to take fights. Bleed the clock. Let Gambit save. We know they love to do it. Sometimes you have to on this CT side. And is that call going to come through? No, Shiro's found the pick. Now that's going to reinvigorate you in. Where are the other two though? You've not really got much info. Kyojin waiting in the graveyard. Shox has been put in one, and Kyojin's not biting. He's not baiting, he's taking two with him. Hobbit gets that kill last second, doesn't mean a difference, and he's going to die to the bomb. 7 up for Vitality. And I got to talk about that ZywOo run through. Yeah. I actually love that play. It's a full info play, right? It means one of two things. You get that pick here on nafany, and then you see the AWP in CT. You smoke him off. ZywOo thinks one of two things. He thinks either B is clear and Shiro is locked out of the bomb site. I can take all this space and force rotates while I do this. Or, okay, there's a second guy in there. If I go in and I find that out the hard way, which he does, he dies to Hobbit back in New Box, well then I've suddenly got the info. Guys, it's 2 a day. You're already ready to drop apps. Just go for it. Just commit. I figured out the B stack is in. So, like, yeah, ZywOo dies after 1, but it's so much info. And even though it goes a bit scary up in the A site, that spam for Apex cleaned it out.
Yeah, you know, just seeing the AWP at B wasn't enough, right? Because it's very, very common for Shiro and Hobbit to trade places, right? Hobbit's often that guy up and leaving if the AWP's rotated around. So ZywOo full commits, gets the info. You're dead on, Hugo. Now we got a B pop, a fast round out of Vitality. They're constantly keeping you guessing with these pace changes. But Hobbit, this B site belongs to him. He's doubled up, and now he's called for these rotations to start pulling around. Gambit are not going to move quickly here. They'll take it slow. They're going to group up all 4 players back in CT and look to retake this as a unit.
Yeah, you have to win this round. Otherwise, this game suddenly gets super out of control. Vitality, they were just on the edge of being broken last round. They picked it up. Gambit had to save, and now they're coming in with so much utility. Nades at the back, mollies to follow. There's no smoke to put it out. You've got to fight for your life. Shox will do so. nafany's taking a kill. Shox gets back to safety for now, but Kyojin can't cover, and Shox needs them all. Line of 2 out of 4. Shiro trades with a quick shot that he had to hit, but it doesn't matter again. The time eludes Gambit. No kit on either of the standing players, and Vitality find an 8th round. They keep slipping the net. They keep dodging death. And Gambit broken, not just economically, but mentally as well.
Yeah, and that's almost a round that you don't even believe you've won until you see them running away, right? Like you could see in Shox's reaction, he was very upset, and then there's the call. No, they don't have a kit. Suddenly that feeling, that apprehension, that feeling of dread turns to celebration, elevation, and up onto 8 of Vitality.
This is a rush. This is a full disrespect-paced round for Vitality. They bought 3 MAC-10s. They could have even got rifles here. They are not waiting. They have no more room, no more respect for Gambit, and they're just going to charge it right down B.
Yeah, but one of these big guns is here. Well, ZywOo will actually spam Shiro out. It's giving you a little more room. Once again, though, we know what Gambit are going to do here. They're going to pump the brakes. They're going to whittle you down with the nades, the utility. ZywOo on the receiving end of all of that damage, and there's more where that came from. Trying to plant the bomb again. ZywOo's a dead man to this nade, and even though in his dying breath he does get the bomb planted, a 2-on-4 needed out of Kyojin and shox. Kyojin's got to play it fast and loose with the MAC-10. Chases down the AWP on Hobbit, and now he's armed with it himself. Throws it out the map to make this expensive at least. They're on the bomb, they're sticking it, and how on earth are you meant to peek that? 2 angles of elevation out of the CTs watching that defuse.
Yeah, that's you know, even that play there where it's like he could get lineups, he could get given kills to the AWP. That just shows how much Vitality are aware of the damage they're doing, and that's the reason they make the call as well. They probably didn't even expect Gambit to buy in that round, honestly, when you just charge it to beat. Gambit had a lot of utility. They had nades, they had mollies, and that's because they got up Famises to buy up fully with MP9. So yeah, I don't think Vitality expected to buy there, but I actually like the disrespect call as well. However, that is a bit of a problem for Vitality. All these close rounds where you lose every player and the bomb wins it for you, they come at a cost, and that cost is now shown in deagles, 2 of them. Also, ZywOo, 18-7 running a deag.
His whole team of 18 kills.
Someone be a gentleman. Someone hand it over. I don't care if ZywOo says, no, I'm fine. Give him the AK. This guy's getting multi-kill openers in many rounds.
Here we go. I'm going to have to tell you about the ZywOo deagle again.
You've done it before.
You didn't like it when I did it last time.
I mean, yeah, if he can do it, props to him. But really, it should not be coming through. Gambit are trying to wean their way back into this map. Wrangle their way under Vitality's skin. But they haven't had back-to-back rounds since their first two. These ones cost you a lot. You've got to keep it clean here and now.
Zawo's even taken the bomb. Talk about a team player. Here he is lining up the util for this long take. Flashing his team in, allows them to take this long control away. Shiro has given it up and is playing back in the bomb site. Flash dodged, Masuta playing anti, and now the apps drop comes in. There is a second player in the pit, but once more, Inters is the only guy remaining in this A bomb site. nafany will find one through smokes, but ZywOo wrecks them with the deagle. That's a big nade. Double up for nafany. He will get wrapped by Apex. It's not clean, but it's still a chance in the one-on-one now. Just enough time to get that bomb planted. Apex, he fakes the plant, and that has lost the round for Vitality. The late swing from Hobbit means everything. He thought the short wrap was coming in, and it ends up being his undoing.
Oh, that hurts as well. He had a safe plant, man. He had one at the back of the bomb site. He had cover. He's just thinking the Hobbit's right around the corner, ready to explode on that info, on that noise. That really hurts. It's not like Hobbit even like called the bluff. He was just walking, man. He's just coming through apps, and he'll get there when he gets there. Lovely grenade out of nafany. That's going to hurt for Vitality. They really wanted to win that round, and you know, almost did with the dig out of ZywOo, with the apps drop and Masuta's entry. My goodness, this game, it's so unclear.
Yeah, to make matters even worse, Apex, they're dying after time, really throws everything into disarray. Now, Apex is fine to, you know, play it out with an SMG, lead from the front. He's all good there, but I don't know, you'd always rather an AK. Shiro, oh, misses the opener, but Inters is looking to make up for it. ZywOo with a Glock versus Shiro with the AWP. This one should go the way of Shiro.
Thanks for his bodyguard as well. Certainly helps out. Ah, dear. 6-8. And yeah, for Gambit, been given away back into this game. It's still a great half of Vitality. No one's going to be crying at the end of 15 as they've won it out on the T side of their map pick. But could have been so much more, man. Also could have been so much less if Gambit had kits in some of these retakes. So swings and roundabouts, I guess you take it. You've even overbought a FAMAS, but that doesn't matter. Maybe it's a gun for the retake if Shiro wanted to drop his AWP. Oh, right down middle. I like this. Gambit have not been in your face, but shox is ready for it. Flash over the top, and he takes down Exile. Now he's ready for the AWP. He knows that with one comes another. There is cover. Shiro's got him locked in the corner. You can wallbang this. We saw it the other day. No need. shox dodges death, and Apex chases down. Like you said, leading from the front, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, the moment shox baited that shot, Apex knew what he was doing. Oh, Hobbit trying to do everything he can to keep this A bomb site afloat. Here they come up through the short side. Wow. Hobbit will not let them in. He won't let them pass. Out of ammo. Should be good, but Hobbit will hold strong, closing it out with 4 on the USP and leaving this half split right down the middle. It's the way versus a Gambit that had a slow start to this map, but then roared to life in that second half of the half, so like the second quarter, I guess you'd say. Now trailing behind at 7-8, Gambit looking to make some magic happen over on their T side.
Yeah, this is where they really get scary though, right? Shiro P250 pistol, nothing new there. nafany's got the nades. And they're heading B-bound. Still defaulting though. Flash is ready for Masuta to go back in after he makes that first contact. There it is. Flash calling for it. Gonna throw over two, in fact. Masuta's only good for the first. It's in terms of the trade similarities between the first pistol and this one. But do Gambit commit? They've still got a man back in middle.
Yeah, Hobbit loves these lurks, though, and, you know, a lot of the times you won't even see him activate unless everything goes successful over on the other side of the map. But what having him here does is it leaves the option open to come back towards A. Doesn't look like that's going to be part of the game plan. I think instead Hobbit wants to cut off rotations, but this peek from Apex, trying to hold on, and he's helped out by shoxy, dropping the bomb out in the open. Hobbit now has no choice but to come back and join in with this B play, and his timing almost couldn't be worse, right? Those players in top mid, they hear him, they see him running back.
Oh, shox.
Shox will get into position over here. Quad now taking peeks out. Spots one, that's the bomb crossing. Now the second man spotted as well. shoxy can't hold on. Shiro will get the better of him. And this leaves Kyojin and ZywOo in a 2-on-2 to decide how this half starts.
Yeah, shox almost got into cover before Shiro saw him. Good realization. The man had crossed back to the new box, and we see that kit highlighted as well. It's available. Need the kills quick though. ZywOo looking for that pixel shot, nothing found. And he's got to worry about Shiro, who's ready to pounce from the sideline. Back of the head. Hitbox is so hard to hit, and Shiro, they don't realize where he's shooting strong. Eight shots rather in the gun left up, and they're running out of time. They chase him down. He gets one. Final bullet can't connect, and they find the kill. ZywOo's got the kit already. Oh, it's going to be close, but I think Vitality have locked in a pistol.
Yeah, you're splitting some pretty small hairs there, but Shiro, as you mentioned, right, guy has one bullet left. Ooh, often so good in those clutches. That's the only reason a part of you even considers it, right? Shiro so often keeps his composure, keeps his cool here, but you've got one chance to make it count versus ZywOo.
Yeah, he even swapped out the PT-50 for the USP there, right at the top of B when he went back for the bomb in the first place. So I'm surprised to see that anyway, but it essentially comes back to bite him, you know, in the sense of not having the ammo. Not the end of the world, though. It's a big round for Vitality, man. They've started both halves super strong. They went 5-0 up with some dominant T rounds before Gambit could even get a grasp over this game. And now if the same happens, Gambit are going to be in hot water. Vitality are in fire, though. Mollied out at short side. I was almost team killed there. Does get out of dodge. Vitality just want to reset. They don't like this. Hobbit has caught them resetting, and he's taken down one with him. ZywOo's so low, and he needs his pit player to do something on this cross. Apps player and double short. That smoke gets stuck. Bounces weird. They take advantage of it. They run him down, but ZywOo still brings more with him. Apex off the rotate, and he's going to finish the job. Vitality, they get rid of that fast pistol explosion.
That was a really nice little round as far as they go, right? That was just everyone attempting to like trade kills out on each individual push. Like their smoke misses and they go, that's an opportunity. They hear the boost getting dismantled in mid and players running back. Hobbit goes, well, that's an opportunity. Everyone's trying to seize these moments, but it's Apex running in at the end, getting all those trades, getting passionate about it. And putting 10 on the board for Team Vitality. Now just Glocks for Gambit. This round should be as free as they get.
No problems, right? No problems at all. Nades for free damage. shox, knife out, buddy. Careful. They're chasing you, and ZywOo has health. Does keep things clean, and they need to be in this round, right? You don't want to take any losses to P250s. Masuta committing down bottom B, catches Inters in the pit, and shox re-aggresses on the short side as well. Ugh. God, everyone wants to get involved. Make that money. Make it rain. And shake that thing. It's 11-7, and Gambit coming in with the gun round that really must pick up pieces here in the second half. They can't afford to have the same slow start they did on CT side.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you know, this is still very, very competitive. You can still put Vitality down in the doldrums. If you come in with a couple of key rifle round victories, this would be the first of two that you would need to break Vitality's money. But if that happens, you know, suddenly you're able to bring this game very, very close, and you keep Vitality under pressure constantly. If Vitality win this, they build up a bank, they would take a bonus round victory. Not only does that make you feel great, but it ruins Gambit's investments for the future. And it would just put Vitality in a spot that feels incredibly hard to break apart. Suter opening up at top B and now even getting flashed in. That's to try and repel anyone else poking their head around. Now the mollies make it a bit awkward for Masuta, but he will still get out of there with his life intact. That kill goes untraded for Gambit. No real potential. Some nice protocols in place for Vitality. You know, they got that flash for anyone else trying to peek on the trade, then the late molly to deny a re-peek on the angle and get Masuta out of there. And it's let them keep this little man advantage now. Flashing back into top banana. They're going to take this real estate back. Now, you don't want to peek down because Shiro, he doesn't often miss those. Well, tag shox down to 10, but elsewhere, more fights are being won by Vitality. Gambit not out of the woods yet. They might have done a lot of damage, but it's still yet to even find a kill.
Every grenade has been used, but Gambit don't know that. Are they still going to commit to this? They don't look invested. Doubling back to ult mid with 20 seconds. They've not got a hope in hell, and so they want to retry it next time around. That's a 12 for Vitality. That's even more room in this CT side. And a flawless round at that. Woo! Saving a pretty penny indeed. You're going to let the SMGs try and farm, grab some guns maybe on the way out. And yeah, the bodyguard. shox will even keep his. Why not keep 5 alive? Nothing wrong with that. Gambit getting away with 7. Keeping 3, but it's not like they can rebuy fully, right? Axel can get, you know, an AK with no utility. If you want grenades, you're gonna have to make substitutions here, and so they shall. This is getting very scary for Gambit as time ticks on.
ZywOo, any Krieg fans? Anyone been saying, oh damn, I really want to see ZywOo with that T-side scopey boy? Well, he's bringing it out, boosting Masuta as well here. Watching for a B play. This is a horrible B setup, mate. This is the one round where going B is just going to be a massacre. You got a player boosted for CT. You've got Masuta boosted at new box, and then the Krieg of ZywOo at dark. This is a real trifecta, a killing field in this B bomb site. And not even smokes will save you from it. Gambit go A, meanwhile, they're going to reap the reward of this very barren A bomb site, right? shox, Kyojin holding on there. They're keeping a lot of utility between the two of them, right? Kyojin drops that smoke now as we get into the 45-second mark. Trying to keep them locked out of the apartments. Now they hear the flashes going off in top mid. That's where they call for rotations. But because you still have these mollies, right? These incendiaries to slow down the push, you're able to buy a lot of time. And suddenly, while there were just 2 players here, well, now you've stacked this site up with 4. You are ready to repel this offensive. This is great work, keeping those Molotovs in play. And it's bought you all the time in the world to pad out this site. They're going to take it dominantly. Shiro, 15 seconds and no room, nothing to play for, nothing to play with. The AWP's taken away and Vitality are up onto 13.
Yeah, these are very different T-sides right now. Vitality, they make that read at just the right time. They pulled ZywOo over. He disrespects the util out on long for Gambit, just runs right through to take down the long split player. And at that point, it's confirmed. It's, you know, you sail down the river if you're Gambit. There's no question about it. Vitality win every fight in the A site, more clean rounds. And that is proving to be quite the problem for Gambit right now. Saving strats for the semis, perhaps. Will they even get there? Not with a Vitality that looks this red hot. Just Tech9's now. And, well, if last round wasn't easy enough, this one should certainly be. Apex spams the smoke and gets out scot-free, and that leaves 2 more CTs of Banana. Got to worry about that scope. It can sometimes elude your vision, but Masuta's here for cover and for a double. Trading 2. ZywOo helps out. The bomb comes tumbling down. And this is just a lock-in round for Vitality. I can't believe they're keeping them so clean as well. And you know, this round included, now the last 4 rounds won by Vitality, they've had 1 death. 1 death. That's multiple gun rounds. Gambit this is it. Everything rests on this one buy.
Yeah, this is got to be your moment, because if it isn't, you don't get any more. Vitality about to take their map pick in a pretty dominant fashion. We were 8-7 at the half. Gambit yet to field the T-side round. We were wondering if they were going to be plagued with these slow starts again, and it looks that way. Is it a slow start if you never even got started to begin with?
Damn. Yeah, but Gambit, I mean, they had a recovery at least near the end of that CT side. They couldn't really get rounds back to back. Now they can't even get rounds. There's at least that little pocket of air, that 4 in a row, to keep things almost equal on the first half. We need a hero. Shira's 19 and 15. Hobbit's having a great game. Axel's silent.
Yeah, man, and that was, you know, a problem the other day in that, was it Liquid matchup, I'm pretty sure. We had a very quiet Axel. We saw what that did to the team. It took him recovering for them to bounce back.
Especially when he's playing Pit on CT side. And think about the amount of rounds Vitality just walked up into A with contact plays. This is a round done, at least Gambit. They've got a sigh of relief here. They've cleaned out the B-bomb site with one shot onto Apex, and they've locked in an 8th. Keeping it flawless is a nice feeling as well. Vitality will respect this decision, as Gambit should not go hunting. Forget the money, we'll deal with that later. But Gambit, you're not going to get given many of those freebies. A bit of a gamble, a bit of a read for Vitality, perhaps gone wrong. And that was only off a jiggle of Apex as well. It's not much he could have done, just caught by that fast AWP of Shiro, who has not been the problem in this map.
Yeah, you know, a part of me even wonders, and you should all, you know, it's always kind of subjective as to whether or not this is the right thing to do, but Hobbit loves these lurks. The thing I'm worried about is whether or not they're going to be that impactful with guys like Axel being so quiet. Right now, it feels like you're really hinging on someone like a Shiro to be the guy to open up the round, you know, like maybe a nafany. Part of me wonders if maybe having Hobbit join the rest of the pack a little bit more might be a way to force those opening fights, because Axel is having a very rough game. You cannot depend on him right now to secure you those openers. And considering Hobbit's playstyle here on Inferno kind of hinges around those opening kills coming in, if he's going to be lurking over towards the apartments, it gets me a little bit nervous, right? We could end up with these rounds where everyone dies at B and Hobbit's just left sat in apps, you know, for 30 seconds having a save. And I would hate to see him, you know, not get to have an impactful T-side after the game we've gotten out of Gambit. Out of him in particular.
They make the same play. Vitality keep a solo man of B. This time it's Zywoo with full util on the AWP, but that means they have the read once again. The Gambit are coming back into their home ground. Nade in the corner is nice. Apex spams. He's really trying to sell it to keep Masutra alive. And he'll double back. Gambit, they're doing what Vitality did best. It's contact short play. Good flash at least, but Kyojin looking into the wall, ready for it all, and he's dropped 2. Trapped in the back. Oh my goodness, he jumps out. Hobbit saving the day. You've got the 2 top performers here for Gambit to hold in the post-plant against Zywoo.
Yeah, Gambit, as you say, 2 top performers, and they're going to try and hold back Zywoo. Shiro will make it happen. And so they now take themselves a 9th, starting to find their footing. Similar to that first half, it's come late. Coming late's better than not coming at all. Gambit looking to play catch-up.
Yeah, right. We've seen Gambit put many a comeback already, you know, just not just in history, but in the Pro League as well, right? We think about that, you know, the Gambit Liquid 12-6 Mirage comeback. No strangers to success when they're on the back foot. It's going to have to be one hell of a map here, one hell of a balls up for Vitality. Oh, good dig. Kyojin still getting spammed. Get out of there. 10 health. Does he get given an AWP? There's enough to go around. We got 2 on this CT side. Shox says, no, mine. And so Kyojin will just have to deal with the damage done. Still solo B, still taking that risk. With Zywoo, there isn't really a risk. Molly at the top of Banana, Gambit need to clear out everything before they commit with an execute. And at this point, when a lot of footsteps are being heard, when nades are being used, you might even see another rotate come back. You're just waiting on that long smoke to fade. You'd love the info. You're not going to get it. Gambit have gone through the utilities. Zywoo needs something massive here. First bound, flick not going to succeed, and they're up above him, all over him, climbing into the bomb site. Taking one at least will tempt Vitality for a retake, but it will never begin if Axel found that kill instead. Bottom of the board, he's taking fights over the smoke, and Apex shoots him right through. That primes Vitality for the 15th.
Yeah, they're still concerned about this Hobbit lurk. That's why you've seen no one leave yet. But shox has now spotted him down at the bottom of ramp. And so Vitality quickly pieced together, well, boys, we got a 4-on-2 in the site. Hobbit's off doing his own thing. And now that he's low, he's trying to make a big play coming in late through CT. This relies on Shiro and Inters holding the line. And now Hobbit's flank able to activate, locks the round in. Gambit up on a 10, and that's what I mean about Hobbit's lurking. It's all designed about everything else going right. If it all goes fine in B, he will find you that impact.
And he's won a major off these lurks, right? Man knows what he's doing at least, but yeah, he definitely needs Shiro to hit those first couple of shots, and a little backstab to close. Lovely stuff out of Gambit. They were down by a man anyway.
Yeah.
Hobbit gets spotted on ramp running Banana. That's what convinces Vitality that that is not coming through. It's one thing to come out Boiler and flank the A site into CT. It's another thing to do it from Banana.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. You know, and it is a little bit weird with Axel taking that fight. You know, when he's taken it, he knows that's the swing fight of the round. That fight there determines if Vitality attempt it or if you just win on numbers alone. And obviously, he isn't able to win that fight. That's what kind of spurs Vitality on, gets them believing. But in a way, if you're Gambit here, you almost prefer winning the round, removing all 5 players, than having them save and keep 3 alive. Don't get me wrong, that's not what you were thinking in the moment. That wasn't why you're like, Axel, peek this, mate, and die, and then we kill them all and win the round. But you're content with the results. That's what's been offered up to you. And finally, you're in a position where you can actually break Vitality's money.
Triple B now, quite the opposite setup for Vitality, as they've been making risks with these 4-man A setups. Gambit have 3 in a row. This could be the second coming of Gambit on this T side. Nice grenade. Zywoo, Molotov traps him at Banana, and the flash doesn't help him any better either. His teammates are trying to save him, and they go through the Molotov as Mizuta helps out, catching Inters and getting out scot-free. 2 insta-frags for Vitality has forced Gambit's hand, but even if they were to pop out halls right now, which is still mollied, they've got to wait for the bomb. Shiro's coming up on the mid side. He's going to throw in an A-smoke. They don't have a flash for it. They just run it dry, and nafany needed to trade that. He does. Keeps this round up in the air, up in limbo, but the spray is missed, and shox holds on. Shots from Zywoo, not quite as successful, and now he's just playing with Shiro, who needs the clutch. No time for that second shot. Nice trade out of shoxy, keeping Vitality up in the lead. They break that 3-round streak from Gambit and find 15 first.
Yeah, I do love the response, right? This idea of, well, maybe we've been giving them a little too much room, so they just fight for this top banana with 3 players there. Not something that Gambit have had to be too worried about. You know, a lot of the time it's these late flashes back in to retake banana control we've been getting out of Vitality. But there, it's an immediate brawl from the get-go that forces your hand at the A play. That's a top mid smoke throwing out a spawn there from shoxy. Landing deep.
Axel, he's at least, taking the brunt for the team. He's up first in Banana yet again. A lot of the times you're kind of just throwing your body at that first man, just trying to get the trade off, especially when you know Zywoo's AWPing this bomb site. He has been in some of these rounds.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the nature of it as well. Like, when you are the guy having to go in first all the time, if you're having a great game, even then it can still feel like pretty rough at times.
Yeah,
like you're the one running into
hands,
like a 1-on-2, and you're expected to get one traded in those situations. When you're having a bad game, it looks really rough because you're the guy, who's not feeling too confident, not actually getting those 1-on-1s, but he's at least creating the space for his team. The sacrificial lamb of Gambit.
You can't commit B here right now. You still don't have that bomb, even though nafany's got a nice little lurk going on. Zywoo's timing catches him. He had to watch apartments and long, and he's still able to catch him, getting up into the CT spawn. That B split now has failed, and Hobbit's apartment lurk. You talk about how things have to go right in order for this to work. Things are going very wrong right now until they're not. Shiro and Inters flip the script, double up, and Hobbit catches Kyojin on a rotate. He may die to ZywOo, and now they wonder where has shox gotten to. Shiro saving the day again, leaving ZywOo 32 frags right now in regulation, looking to close the map.
Yeah, but he's got a terrifying orc to go up against, right? Shiro almost matching him in that firepower, in that head-to-head. ZywOo doesn't want to go for this one if it was never going to be in his wheelhouse. He's slowly taking a couple of peeks in, but if he's not given anything soon, it might be the save. Here he is, looking in, and Shiro gets the better of him. Wow. That Gambit orb really started to come alive. And I tell you what, like T-side open, not an easy feat. Not an easy feat at all, right?
Yeah.
Even think back to that first half, ZywOo was rifling over the top of it. Don't get me wrong, the results are incredible, but the fact that a lot of this entry has to come from Shiro's AWP, and he's rising to that occasion in the absence of Axile, is a huge deal for Gambit, and he deserves a big share of the props for the reason as to why this game is so close right now.
I'm very glad you said that, right? It's not like he's had multi-kills in post-plants, which are where you want to get the AWP in this map, but in terms of breaking them into the B-bomb site, he has done that round after round. So, yeah, big props to Shiro there. Even then, on that smoke fade, catching shox on the coffin. That was the third B player that Gambit might not have been ready for, but the reaction will do it for them. And now you've got overtime in the back of your mind if you're Gambit. Vitality's money is on the chopping block. Good shot from ZywOo. He gets out scot-free. Kyojin's still here. ZywOo's trying to sell it harder. Gets taken down by Inters' opener. And Kyojin, he can't go anywhere. He has to commit. He needs to take down one with him. And he sees that arm, takes a leg. Inters dead. Kyojin falls right after. Trades are fine for Gambit. They know the site is weak right now. For a moment, it's only shox.
Oh, he does an Apex moving in to try and help, but no, now it is just shoxy. Gotta do it all with the swing. The Famus can't quite keep the dream alive. Masuta 1v2, and these have so often not gone your way. Not been a big clutch day for Vitality, but Masuta still undeterred, looking to make it happen. He's gotten very deep on the timing. This short player knocked out and ready for the pit fight. Masuta makes the clutch come through, hits that timing, and secures this map for Vitality, putting a stop to that Gambit comeback and denying any chance of OT. Now we look to Vertigo, where Gambit are having the time of their lives, but our Vitality about to ruin it all.